Previously on A Butter's Life.
Basically, everyone is jealous of you. It starts all the way back in childhood. But I remember growing up and people being mean to me because I had a good mom. I do stand out, and I did stand out, and I am different. In many ways, I and you are an elite person who has it better than most people, and they hate you for it. But what if that jealousy is your fault and within your power to control?
Hi, I'm Jerome. Welcome to A Butter's Life.
Bye bye, black sheep, have you any good? Yeah. Yes, sis, yes, sir. About 3 kilos of the Acapulco blue. And when it's late at night, I got that shot.
And welcome to A Butter's Life. Today, we're going to be going back over the topic of interpersonal jealousy. We're going to be teaching you how to identify it and how to turn it into something more akin to admiration. And so, I'm hitting the microphone. And so we're clear, this isn't just for successful people. This is for literally anyone who has things that other people want. You could be tall, you could be beautiful, you could be rich, you could be successful, you could be famous. You could be anything. You could have a good family life and people will be jealous of you. This video is for absolutely any of those types of people who want to lead a truly great life connected to more people. Now, let's be honest. Jealousy is not always, I hate you, I think you're stupid, blah, blah, blah. It's often, I don't really like that girl. She's not all that pretty. She's blah, 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 blah. It can also be a little bit even more subtle than that. When you are showing somebody something and they're like, are you sure that's a good idea? Do you think that looks good on you? Is that the right color for you? Yada, 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 yada. That sort of behavior is all jealousy speaking through their gaping maw. They can also be silent. Like, if you're saying something awesome and people are like, yeah, that is a sign that they probably are a bit jealous of what you have going on. This sort of thing can happen when it's like, if say you're telling somebody a story and all of a sudden you see their eyes go dim or like glaze over, and you just kind of know that they are not really listening to your story or thinking about what's going on anymore. They're thinking about how your story affects them. That is jealousy. But see, the danger here is that if you don't acknowledge these warning signs, you might start thinking that you're imagining them or maybe that you deserve them. And that happens a lot to people who are, successful, popular, pretty, whatever, who are jealousy or envy inspiring, right? That just often happens a lot where you start to think that people hate you. And it can become a self-perpetuating cycle that nobody wants to be in. Previously, I've told you about how, like, for me, my experience of jealousy started very early. So I was probably, in elementary school, even like my cousins, people at school, they would be jealous of the fact that I had a mom who cared, who would like get me to school clean, who would teach me, would spend time with me, take care of me. And like that thing there would cause a lot of arguments and fights between the kids around me. And it felt at the time like, well, I just want to be included, but you can't have everything. But the best thing about jealousy is that it tells you that people are actually like seeing you for who you are, even if you don't see it. So you may not think you're the most beautiful person in the world, but you probably are attractive. So when people look at you, they're like, oh, I wish I was as attractive as them. Grass is always greener, etc., etc. But the truth is, like, having someone acknowledge that you are awesome, that you're pretty, that you're smart, that you're successful, that you're whatever, it feels nice in a way. Like, when I made the realization, it actually helped me hold my head a little bit higher up, because now I'm not feeling aggrieved. I'm feeling observed in a way. Like, so if people are watching, put on a show. Now, the question becomes, why would you want to turn jealousy into admiration or respect? And it's actually a pretty simple thing, is that you want to connect with people. You want people to be closer to you. You don't want your privileges, your successes to be a barrier to actually connecting with people. One of the biggest complaints of all successful people, envy inspiring people, let's just name the group that, is that they're lonely as all hell. You know, she's so lucky, she's a star, but she cries in her lonely heart thinking, girl, shut up. If there's nothing missing in my life, then why do tears call at night? And I'm just like, it's because you're not trying to turn that jealousy into admiration. And if you want to be a person who's more connected to people, you want to keep watching. So, are people wrong to be upset with you, jealous of you, whatever? Yes and no. So, once you amass any type of power, any type of prestige or whatever, you really, really, really want to start reflecting that back on other people. So, when you're famous, you want to start promoting other people, showing up to their shows. If you are beautiful and people are constantly hitting on you, you should be playing matchmaker. If you are wealthy, you should be able to, offer a 0% interest business loan or some shit like that. It can be something, less grand, but you should be using your resources and the benefits and the privileges that you have to help make the people in your life better. Obviously, giving them things is not going to make them love you. And you shouldn't try and buy people's love, but we'll get into more of that coming up forward. So, how do you actually turn jealousy into respect? If you're watching this, you're actually looking for probably like practical steps that you can do in everyday interaction so that people are, more connected to you. Step 1, consistency. Being yourself when it feels like people are jealous, envious, aggressive, dismissive, they don't care. It can be a bit deflating. Let's just be honest. You can often feel like, why should I even bother if you're just going to be rude? But the truth is, inside of all of us is just a little kid who is not feeling their best. They're not always feeling, the happiest, the brightest. They're not feeling the strongest, the most powerful. And being confronted with someone who's doing something that they feel like they can't in the moment can really hurt. So for you to be a consistent force of yourself around, even in difficult situations, is going to be powerful. That consistency is going to make people realize that you're not putting on an act. It's not a facade. This is just kind of who you are. And it'll help them see all the layers of humanity that are in you, which is one of the reasons why they're jealous of you, because they don't see all of the things that it takes to be you. The next one is going to be generosity. Now, when I say that, as I said before, often people are thinking about money. That's not necessarily true. What we're talking about here is generosity of your spirit, your time, your attention, your love. You need to be, okay, so like Beyonce. I often, when fans talk about meeting her or celebrities talk about meeting her, they're like, oh, she's so kind, she's so kind, she's so kind. Ariana Grande is the same way. So I kind of wanted to figure out what it was that they did that made people's impression of them be so positive. I always thought people just felt that way because they were famous, and that's kind of true. But the truth is, there is a in order to be successful, you kind of have to be self-centered. So people expect you to be kind of like myopic and in your own world. And anybody who has enough presence of mind to know, build your team, let them think about you, and then you can think about other people. That is a powerful thing. It's the point of being, of why people make people famous, is because they're like, hey, we like what you're doing. We know that you are great, blah, blah, blah. What we ask back in return is entertainment and, a couple seconds of acknowledgement when you see us in person. That's really like, that's the deal there. When you're seeing people, you need to be asking them about themselves. If you're powerful, popular, famous, people are always thinking about you, right? So when you're actually meeting people who people are not thinking about all the time, maybe you should think about them. Ask them about their life. Ask them what's going on with them. How's the kids? How's this? What are their hobbies? If people are loving your work, finding out more about them is actually going to help you make better work, because finding out the people who love you and what they love is going to help you create more things that spread more love. You might have a million things going on in your life, but honestly, focusing on yourself all the time can be exhausting. Being able to offer up your attention to someone else also eases your own anxieties as well. So, you really want to be offering up yourself in openness and a generous nature when you're interacting with other people. Leave the stressing about that stuff to your assistants, to your whatever. If you don't have assistants, then maybe you just gotta clock out. I don't know what to tell you. Lastly, the thing you need to remember most is that making people feel good is the most important thing. You need to be attacking every single situation with warmth and openness, because essentially, by being the enviable person, the jealousable person, whatever, in the room, you are essentially the de facto leader of that place. People are looking to you. You're the idol. You're the leader because you're special and you're different. And people will kind of like move around you without even realizing what they're doing. So make sure that you're leading this group with warmth. How is your day doing? How are you? Are you taken care of? Do you got water? Do you need anything? You're supposed to be polite and hospitable, and making sure that your interactions with people always end and start on a positive note. Be complimentary. Just because you have a high level of taste or you're very sophisticated doesn't mean that you actually, you don't like more unsophisticated things or things that other people are doing. Oftentimes people will see me and they're like, oh, he's so fancy. There's no way he could like our simple things. And that's bullshit. Because I have developed into a sophisticated person. I don't come from sophistication. I come from educated, low-class people. Whatever. So I can get down. I'm just persnickety and uptight. So fuck me. I'll get down with it. So it's important to actually go ahead and open yourself up to them without them asking. Now, one of the most common concerns when you're trying to, change how you behave to get more affection, to make people like you, to bring people closer to you, is that perhaps you're not going to be as authentic as you perhaps should be. That's a fair concern. You always want to make sure that you are as true to yourself as possible. But it's not impossible to do. Impossible to, be more relatable, be more attractive, be more compassionate and warm, while also keeping your own shine. You're a superstar. You can shine. That's okay. So how you do this comes down to 4 parts. Don't shrink, mirror and match, save your joy for the safe spaces, and close with care. Firstly, don't shrink. As I said, you're a superstar. It's okay for you to shine. You just have to know that, if people can look at the solar eclipse, they just gotta have special glasses. Same deal with you. You have to just provide people the glasses yourself. When it comes to mirroring and matching, a lot of people think of this as being negative, like you're being fake. Really what this is code switching, where in different situations, you're matching the behavior of other people. Because you don't always necessarily want to be the leader. You don't always want to necessarily be the center of attention. And just being different is enough to grab attention. So when I'm here, I'm having a conversational voice. If I were a newscaster, I'd speak a bit more properly. I'd make sure that my diction was a lot more clear and that every word that I said was easy to understand. However, when I'm just chilling back with whatever, it's I just lay back. It's a bit more relaxed. Relax your jaw, relax your tongue, blah, blah, blah. However, the people around you are just kind of fit in. Save your joy. This one will sound a bit contradictory based on the other 2 steps here, but you actually don't always want to share every good thing that happens to you. If you get a new car, it's okay to drive it to places, and if people notice, they notice, whatever. But you don't want to go around, look, I got a new toy, blah, 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 blah. People are not going to like that. Only certain people are going to be able to actually see your joy, accept it, and not have it threaten them. So just pick and choose where you share the good things in your life. Finally, close with care. We talked earlier about warmth. Make sure every interaction ends with that warmth. Because, you can't change first impressions. And oftentimes people's emotions are their first impressions of you. But you can often layer on things to their impression. So if, they thought you were a stuck-up bitch at first, and then, you know, you were warm and awesome to them, they'll put those two together. It won't ever erase. They'll always like subtly think that you're a stuck-up bitch, but they'll just like, you know, there's more to you. And you know, that's good enough, right? Now, talking about a topic like this might make you think that we're trying to control people. We're not. We're trying to influence people. We're trying to make sure that people know that we are good people. We're speaking in their language. We're trying to connect. But it's important to know that no matter what you do, it's going to be like there's just the opportunity that people aren't going to like you. That's just what it is. You can be the juiciest, ripest peach, and somebody still ain't going to like peaches. Like they're wrong, but you know, they don't like peaches. And you know, the more you come at people with like an open heart and mind and warmth and generosity, you may actually come to understand that some of the things they don't like about you might be true. Like we can take me for example. I'm extreme, I'm loud, I'm energetic, I am so much, I'm all over the place. You cannot hang out with me for a long time without feeling overwhelmed unless you really like my energy, like naturally. So, you know, truthfully, I should keep my interactions with people a little bit shorter. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. That's just me. And, you know, if people have the impression like, oh my God, he is a lot, yeah, they're right. If people are like, he's kind of direct and upfront and maybe sometimes a little rude, yeah, they're kind of right. You know, like, you may realize that why people don't like you actually has some basis. But, you know, all of those features are actually why you're watching this, why I have everything that I have. And, you know, as I said previously, I can't have all of this and all of that too. It just doesn't happen for everyone. So you have to be grateful for what you've got. Jealousy doesn't always mean you're unliked or unlikable. It can often mean that you're simply just undeniable. And being in the face of undeniable power for a lot of people is just simply too much. You know, you open the ark, melt your face off. It is just the fact that some people are different. We're a lot, we're strong, we're powerful. But that doesn't mean that that has to get in the way of connecting with other people. You just have to learn how to do it appropriately on their own level and make it work for you. But that's about it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, I'm Jerome, aka Mr. Butters at getthebutters.com. Check us out at The Butters Hygienist Co. Getthebutters.com, at GetTheButters on all social media, all that good stuff. All these videos that we do here are 100% sponsored by that. We don't have any other advertisers or anything. So if you like the kind of stuff that we're making over here, give us a shout out, give us some support, like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Look at me being a YouTuber. I'm so proud of myself. This is the third take of this video, and I swear to God, if I press stop and the audio is fucked up, I'm just gonna try again. Peace and moisture. I love you so much. Mwah. Bye-bye.
Dance to something dangerous, shake to something scandalous, prance to something fabulous, dance to something dangerous. Shout out to Mellow Bugs, I just can't get enough. Madder than Severus, bitches ain't shaking fast enough.
I'm trying to get a bite, shake my titties, run all night. I'm trying to get a bite, pop my kitty in your mouth.
Give me my money before I cut your black ass. Better not be a check, cause I only take cash. Lost 3 stacks, game of craps. Don't get back, neck gon' snap. Dance to something dangerous.